Don't you touch that mouse. Gun Talk's not done yet, not by a long shot. Thanks for hanging around. Man, have we got a treat for you. This is the Gun Talk After Show. This is what we call, down in Louisiana, lagniappe. A little something extra for free. This is where you can call in and ask those questions that are maybe too hot for the radio, or just take a little extra time to explain. So, welcome back in, Tom, Jim Kinsey, our show producer, Michael, and Michelle. Let's do this, guys. Take it away.
All right, we're in the after show having some fun now. We have the regular crowd hustles in, as they say. Or isn't that what, Billy Joel? Something like that. We've got Michael. You there, Mike?
I am. How are you?
Michael is with us, and Michelle is with us.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. And Jim, we really don't care if you're here, but I guess we'll put up with it. Oh, wah, wah, wah. Boy, tough crowd. So it's a balmy 73 where I am. And what's it doing where you guys are?
Harumph.
It's snowing. It's beautiful. It's like a snow globe out there.
I love snow. I really do. I miss snow.
Our definition of beauty differs.
No. I tell you, it's not cold. It's not bitter. It's just snowing. It's beautiful.
Well, you know, snow is great for play, but when you have to work in it all the time, it can be a bit much. But I liked it. When I lived in Alaska, enjoyed it, and we were in kind of somewhat northern Arizona. We got enough snow there to make it fun.
Well, you could come and visit.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Can you send me some?
No, you could come here and visit.
Oh, I see. Oh,
I don't look forward to it with all the discussion we've had during the after show of how wonderful my truck is. It tends to do really stupid stuff in the snow that I don't have any control over.
Well, yeah, of course, pickup trucks are terrible anyway because you have no weight. You got to throw a bunch of stuff in the bed. Otherwise, you have no weight on the rear wheels.
And that way, when you finally do lose control, you have all that extra weight carrying you into something you don't want to hit.
Right. That's right, because if you're going to go out of control, we got to do it in a big way. That's right.
Go big.
Go big or go home, baby. We're going to slide into stuff, and when we hit it, we want it to know it got hit.
Oh.
Simple as that.
Let's not have this happen.
I tell you what, I know we've got a number of things we want to talk about, but we've got a couple of people on hold. Let's go ahead and get to our callers, and then we can ramble on aimlessly as we tend to do. First up, we have Kurt on line 3. He's out of Lebanon, Ohio. Hey, Kurt.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
I am good. Is it snowing where you are?
Actually, it's kind of between it. It's kind of drizzly, snowy, rainy stuff.
Ugh,
not quite
that's
that
yucky
cold.
stuff.
So.
Yeah, okay. So what's up?
Way back when you brought up the GT10, I ended up buying 2 of them. I've been waiting on the next GT gun, and wonder what it's going to be and when it's going to come out.
I think I'm at a 95% now that we're going to have another GT gun the first of the year. We're like not quite ready to announce it, and I don't want to announce what it is until we have it absolutely positively locked down and everything's set up. Let me ask you this. How did you like the first GT10, the Kimber 10mm 1911?
Yeah, I love that pistol. I ended up with 2 of them because I've got 2 kids. I wanted to give one of them to each when I hit the bucket, so to speak, or whatever.
and Michael wants to know if you'd like to adopt him at this point.
No, I've got enough hassle with the 2 boys. Thanks.
Well, if you liked those, I think you're really going to like the next one. How's that?
Nice.
Isn't that terrible of me? Isn't that just awful?
Is that the GT BMG you've been talking about, Tom?
The GT BMG MOUSE.
Yeah.
That's right.
Try to get holster for that.
Yeah, there you go. No, Kurt, we should. Let me see. What's today? We're November. If with any luck, within 30 days, we should be able to announce this. How's that?
Sounds good to me. How about a 10mm revolver?
A 10mm revolver. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Okay,
now,
we have 2 GT10s coming out in January now.
Now, you know, does Smith still make its 10mm revolver? I don't know.
I don't know, but wouldn't a 10mm in a revolver have an awful lot of like cylinder blowback? I mean, not that if you hold it properly, it wouldn't make too much of a difference, but
not too. That's why we hold it with both hands, and we push the cylinder forward with one hand, and we make sure that everything fit. No, I don't think it's a problem. I don't know if they still do. Kurt, do you happen to know, does Smith & Wesson still make a 10mm revolver?
No, they do not, but I bought a used one off of Gunbroker, and I really love it.
All right, here's the question for all of you. You too, Kurt. Do you think there would be enough interest to sell, I don't know, pick a number, 500 of a 10-millimeter revolver?
I'd buy 2.
$4.98 to go. Good.
Kurt's good for 2 of whatever we bring out. You're going to get 2 of them. Okay.
Well, the cool thing about a 10-millimeter revolver, I would guess, is that if you could find one used like he did, you're probably not going to have a heck of a lot of rounds gone through it.
No.
This is true.
You probably can't find the ammo readily in your city.
Oh,
either.
no. You can get 10.
10-millimeter ammo is easy. Yeah, you can find that stuff a lot of places.
Huh.
Now, here's the other question. If you had, it would depend. If you had a 10-millimeter revolver, could you shoot 40 cal in it, but only if it used full moon clips? Because if it head spaced on the case mouth, because the 10-millimeter case is longer. Let me see. What was that? That was the Smith 646. It was the 10. I'm just looking it up here. I think. I don't know. But of course, the other thing is, people like me would argue, okay, but if you're going to do a 10-millimeter revolver, why don't you just get a 41 Magnum, which is kind of the same thing?
Okay, now we may have 3 GT10s coming out in January. Now that you mentioned that.
GT10/4.
0.0, yeah.
That's right, 4.0 or something. Kurt, thank you for your call. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll announce it just as soon as we can. In fact, that's on my absolutely got-to-do-it to-do list first thing this week is to get this locked down. We're to the point now, honestly, we're just looking at colors. We're there. So I'm thinking that the fuchsia camo is the way to go.
I would actually own that.
Super.
I would actually own that. I think that the off-color camo stuff that they've been coming out with lately, while it's not good for hunting, is just too cool. Everybody else is shaking their head. I don't care.
Okay, here's a question. This is a marketing question for you. We have looked at some bright colored grips on this pistol, and I've had people say, "Oh, don't go with that because people won't buy that." People, guys like the regular old black or brown or tan stuff. What do you think?
Hey, it's differentiating that gun because it's a gun talk gun. I think that's awesome.
You like the bright colored, Michelle?
Yeah. I like the classic look. I know.
I'm so done with you, Michelle.
I'm old school.
I'm so done with you.
I thought for sure it was going to go the other way. Michael's going to go, I want the manly thing, I want the black grips. And Michelle's going to go, oh, no, I want the bright color ones. No, it went the other way.
Yeah, a nice pair of customized wood grips, some good checkering on them. There's nothing prettier to me than steel and that
don't
wood grip.
Don't say olive drab. Just don't say
no. For carrying purposes, that stainless steel is excellent. Blued is always pretty.
Well, for carrying purposes, nobody's ever going to see it. Hopefully, right? So it's a range gun.
Let me ask you something. When you dance, do you lead, Michelle?
Michael and I don't dance.
Okay.
Oh. I'm just working on it. Y'all go ahead. I'm just having some fun working on that mental image here for a second.
Is it want to dance?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
Isn't that a Dierks Bentley song? Or no, Bryce. That's right.
Now I just don't know where to go. Because we had looked at some pretty cool looking stuff, but people said, no, you want to go all classic. And I get that, but at the same time, you want to make things look cool because it's going to be a limited run and it's not going to last for very long.
No.
Don't let Michelle talk you out of anything cool because she doesn't know what that is.
Now, what about replaceable grips?
Thank you. Yes.
What about replaceable grips?
Well, of course. I mean, if it's a not a revolver, it's a semi-auto, you can always just pull the grips off and put aftermarket grips on.
Okay.
So, and I argued that, and people said, yeah, but, you want, I don't know. It's one of those deals that at a certain point you can get too much advice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think you kind of just have to say, okay, I'm going to go do this, and if it works, fine. If it doesn't work, that was the way it goes, and I made my call.
Well, ultimately, it's your choice, right?
Yes, it is.
There you go.
It could be my bad choice. So,
Well, and you're working with very reputable companies. They know what works and what doesn't work, and they're going to advise you, properly.
Right. And that's why we're getting like 3 different sets of advice. So thanks a lot, guys. Man. Let's grab Dwayne in Texarkana before he gets tired of our foolishness here. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. How can we help you?
Well, I'm a professional insurance adjuster. I deal with claims that involve weapons all the time, and I have 3 simple tips for getting your value back out after an insurance claim.
Okay, now let me ask you, before you start, a lot of people don't know that their guns may not be covered on their homeowners. Am I correct with that?
That's the first tip, is communicate with your agent in writing. And obviously, if you have more than 2 weapons or high-value weapons, you need to list them for him, because you may need to buy an extra supplement to cover those weapons.
Okay, so is there like a dollar amount generally that your homeowners will cover?
The policies I see show $500 or $1,000 typically, but you just have to read your policy. But if you will email your insurance agent in writing and ask the question, they will email you back the answer, and it's their burden is to make sure it's correct. That's tip number 1.
Okay, what's number 2?
Number 2 is document your weapons through photograph or video. You could just take a running video, tell the serial number and what kind of weapon it is, or you could write that on the back of a still photograph. You have the burden to prove ownership and existence of an item that's stolen or damaged.
Now, what would you do with the video? You need to store that out of the house, because if the whole place burns down, you wouldn't have the record of it.
Well, I'd send it to my daughter or son or something like that, digital. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, get it out of there, get it in a fire safe, one of the 2.
Put it on the cloud.
Email it to yourself.
The cloud. There you go. And what's number 3?
Yeah, number 3 is, look, anytime there's more than $10,000 on the table, and one side has a professional and the other side is an amateur, it don't take a brain surgeon to figure out who comes out ahead every time.
What does that mean?
In 46 states, you can hire your own adjuster. Just like the insurance company hires an adjuster, you can hire one too. They typically charge 10%. They close the claims at 40 to 50% higher. They take care of a lot of the gruff with the insurance company, the documentation, and those type of things. There's no reason not to consider that.
Okay, now because I don't have any experience with this, make sure I'm understanding you, Dwayne. If I had a claim, say I had, and trust me, I've got more than $10,000 worth of guns. So if they went up and smoked, what you're saying is that I could hire my own adjuster because why? Why would I want that? What would he be arguing? What's going on here?
Well, there may be some questions about how the claim occurred. Suppose you let someone into your home and you had a theft. Well, you're going to have to clear that person if you let them into your home, just like giving somebody your keys to the car and calling that theft. Suppose that you had a company that wanted to depreciate your weapons, and you've been given a couple of weapons from your father, old weapons. Now, you and I both know there's a good case for either not depreciating them or the fact that they may even appreciate. A public adjuster can guide you through those things.
So they're going to have their adjuster who's going to come up with a number and a thought about the whole process, so you can have your own. What happens if you have 2 adjusters and now they are coming in with conflicting thoughts on this?
Well, that frequently happens, but what we do as professionals is a meeting of the minds, and typically it boils down to documentation. Look, I can document the weapon. I've internet searched the price. I've calculated the depreciation if that's applicable, those kind of things.
Now, I've heard that the NRA actually has good insurance rates on guns. Are you familiar with that? I just wonder, where would you go for insurance? Would you just add a rider on to your homeowners?
Well, you'd start there, sure, because you're already doing business with them. That's the best place, and you're insured. But yeah, if you've got organizations that you belong to that have unique insurance, they're going to have the same procedures as mainline insurance companies for filing and documenting and collecting the claim. And in that case, you can hire your own adjuster. Okay.
Did not know that. That is very valuable. Dwayne, thank you so much. Good info. We're passing that along. Thank you, sir.
Now, Tom, am I mistaken in thinking that NRA members, non-life members, but annual members get about a $2,500 insurance settlement?
I believe that's right. I believe it comes with a small policy, and then you could add on to it. And I've been told it's comparatively, it is a good rate on your guns per thousand, and also that you don't have to list them.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. But,
it's one thing to say, I'm not going to list them, but then how do you prove that you had them? And I think his idea of shooting video, and man, isn't it easy now and you can shoot video with your cell phone.
Right, and you can put it on YouTube and put it private.
Oh, that's a
then
good
you've got
thought.
it forever. Or email it to yourself. But generally those HD videos are pretty big, so just put a private channel on YouTube, and then boom, you've got it forever.
Sure, cost you nothing. And the thing is, for people to understand, pick up the gun, look at it, show it on video, read the model, what it is. This is a Ruger 1022. the serial number is blah, 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 and it has a wood stock or it has a deal, or if it's got an extra scope saying it's got a loophole 3 to 9 variable on it, and just describe it, put it down, go to the next one, and just have a running litany.
Now, if you're going to do that, you might as well mention it's had a trigger job, it's had this, it's that, so you're actually getting a replacement value, not, well, here's what the same model costs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget about your ammo, accessories, stuff like that, too. Gun cases,
that is a great thought, because you're thinking, okay, if you're shooting a lot, and if you're like us and you're basically a hoarder, and you've got, a fair amount of money tied up in ammo, that's one thing. But, boy, if you have a number of rifles with scopes on them, the scopes can add up real fast. If you're a long-range shooter, you may have $2,000 or $3,000 in each of your scopes. Now, then you start adding in, okay, if you're a hunter, you got binoculars, and you got and before you know it, you're looking around and going, wow, I got a lot of stuff here. I heard one guy say that what he really fears is that after he dies, his wife will sell all of his guns for how much he told her he paid for them. That would be
nice.
Bad.
Nice.
Bad. Okay. Tell you what, let's take a quick break here. We'll come back because we want to talk about Christmas presents. You guys have got some cool ideas there, and we got some other things we want to yak about. So we'll be right back after these very important messages.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. Galleryofguns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
All right, back with you here. We're talking with the crew. We got Michael, Michelle, and Jim, and Tom over here. We call this the after show because no one would dare put this on the air anywhere.
Plus, it seems to happen after the show. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
We thought of calling it the before show, but we could never show up before we were supposed to.
Yeah, plus it's hard to talk about things we may have missed on the show we haven't done yet.
Which brings me to this stupid movie that we just saw.
Uh-oh.
We went and saw Interstellar, guys.
You didn't like it? I've heard a lot of different things about it, but
yeah, I can tell you a lot of different things, but nothing we could say here. 3 hours I will never get back in my life.
not a fan of the McConaughey, huh?
And yeah, actually, I am. I like him quite a lot, and I generally like most sci-fi stuff. This one just went way bizarro, and you're kind of going, yeah, that was self-indulgent was the term that kept coming to mind. But anyway, but we're talking about it has a time travel aspect to it, so that's what I got. And if you want to go to see it, I don't want to ruin it for you. I want you to go and let it ruin it for you.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it for you, but it sucked.
Yeah, but it's really awful. But, but it'll probably get all kinds of awards and 47 tomato ratings.
Well, it may not, because isn't he a pro-gun guy now?
Who, Nolan?
Isn't Matthew
McConaughey?
Yeah,
I don't know.
isn't he?
He is, I believe so. It's being praised primarily because it's very accurate in the scientific community. But that right there.
The last time I was in a black hole, it was just like that. Really? You flew into a black hole? Come on. Okay. Well, anyway, but we digress a whole bunch. Okay.
We have Christmas gifts to talk about.
Yes.
We have guns.
Wait,
Jim's gun situation of the week.
Michael walks in. A man walks into a bar. In this case, Michael walks into a store, and everybody's carrying a gun. What happened?
It was really weird. I went into a vape store today, electronic cigarette store, and a guy that pulled in before me gets out in full camo clothing, hunting clothing, and I'm like, okay.
It's hunting season there.
It is, very much so, and it didn't dawn on me at first. I thought this was just somebody in the middle of Sylvania wearing hunting clothing. But
this is just what he wears every day, okay.
That's happened before. But what had ended up happening, these are kind of a lounge-type environment, and one of the other patrons came in and said, hey, are you going hunting? And I was overhearing their conversation, eavesdropping, and I got all this land, and I hunt, and this and this and this, and they started talking about carry guns and everything, and the other guy says, well, I'm carrying an inside-the-waistband holster with a 1911. And he lifts his shirt up and shows the other guy. And he goes, really cool. Well, I've got this Beretta. And he lifts his shirt up and shows the guy. No, they're not pulling it out of holsters. Thank God.
Yes.
So I had to pipe in. I said, well, I'm carrying a 38 Special, basically, but I'm not going to show it to you. And we started chit-chatting and everything. And I said, well, why do you carry a 1911? Well, I just believe it's the best gun that's ever been made. And I said, yeah, that's a standard argument. I said, personally, I prefer having capacity of a modern double-stack.
That's
firearm.
why you're carrying a revolver.
And then I said, but I kind of got my foot in my mouth because I'm only carrying 10 rounds with me today.
Yeah, all right. Thanks a lot.
So I didn't realize the stupidity of my statement, but we all had a good laugh. And what was really cool is the people behind the counter that were working at this place say, yep, we're a pro-Second Amendment, and we totally agree with the right to carry firearms and everything. I'm thinking this is an e-cig shop in the middle of Sylvania. What is going on here?
But think about it from their perspective. If you're anti-gun, you got 3 guys showing their guns in the store.
You're probably not going to
say, I hate the Second Amendment. Yeah,
I just thought it took me a little bit by surprise. It was cool. It was very cool.
All right, so what is your thought on somebody pulling his shirt up and showing you his carry gun?
I don't particularly like it. If it's one-on-one with somebody and they warn me that they're going to do it, hey, can I show this to you? Sure, maybe that's not a big deal, but I don't know these guys. And initially, I was a little bit apprehensive. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I was doing anything proactive to defend myself, but it made me a little nervous at first just until I got to know them. So I don't recommend it.
I've had people do that when we have the conversation. They just, as a way of kind of showing me that they are okay with guns, actually pull a shirt up and show me. And you go, huh. And I've pretty much, and I didn't know what to do at first, frankly. I've kind of come to the conclusion, I've thought about it, thought, I am not going to volunteer to anyone that I'm carrying.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm going to say, wow, that's cool. That's really interesting. How long have you been carrying? I'll go there. But I'm not going to reciprocate and say that I'm carrying, and I'm most certainly not going to flash my gun at somebody.
Makes you a target. Can, potentially.
Well, I don't know. I just
it's nobody's business.
Well, it isn't.
The habit. You need to get in the habit of making it where it is no one's business, where you don't tell anybody, you don't share this information. This is something that you should not be telling people about, I think. That's the way I approach it. Now, I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just my approach.
I probably wouldn't have said a darn word had it not been for basically everybody in the store going, hey, I've got a gun. You know what I mean? I mean, I was in kind of like-minded company, but...
And it is kind of cool. I mean, it really is. You kind of go, well, that's... Well, you know what it does do, too? It also points out how many people you see every day that you have no idea are carrying.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if it's done right, you never will.
And if those people behind the counter were not pro-gun, they think, wow, those guys seem like decent guys, and I had no idea they had guns, and they turned out not to be jerks like I thought all gun people were. There's a PR value, I guess.
What is this? You want an ugly gun for Christmas, Michael?
Well, I want a bunch of ugly guns, but the one I've got my eye on right now is I want an AK-47. I do. I really don't know why, but I do.
And that's perfectly okay.
Does there have to be a reason?
No,
thank goodness, no.
I've got a bunch of ammo stockpiled for it. And then speaking of stockpiling ammo for guns I don't have, we were talking about this too. I need a 20 gauge.
I may have a 20 gauge for you.
Is it weird that we would have ammo for guns we don't have?
I bought it by mistake.
How many rounds are we talking about here, Michael?
600.
You bought 600 rounds of 20 gauge by mistake?
I bought 6 boxes.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, so I need a 20 gauge now.
Yes, you do. You have to even up. As we say, if you have too much gravy and not enough mashed potatoes, you have to go get some more mashed potatoes. So now you have to even up.
Yeah. I don't even, I don't have a whole lot of experience with 20 gauge, but I don't even really care.
Clearly, no kidding, you don't. You don't know it when you see it. You think?
The boxes weren't open and I can't read.
Nice.
Well, if you put them into 12 gauges, they're real safe as long as you don't have any 12 gauge ammo around, because they'll just slide down the barrel about halfway.
No shims, huh?
No shims. No. Oh my gosh. So, Jim, you have a 20 gauge?
I do have a 20 gauge. My wife bought several guns on her little trip this summer, and one of them was a 20 gauge.
Single shot.
Single shot.
That's what I was just saying.
That'd be fun. Well, the thing that's nice about a single shot is it makes your ammo last a long time.
Oh yeah.
And there's none of this bang, bang, bang stuff.
And your forearms are massive when you're done.
Yeah, that's right, crack it. Now, you can put one of those cartridge or shell holders on the stock. It slips on the stock.
Yeah, side saddles?
Yeah, side saddle rig. And those work real well. they never work for me because people always put them on the wrong side of the stock for me, and so then I'm sticking my face against the shotgun shells. But that's what you get when you shoot on the left side. So there you go. It's uncomfortable. I just got to tell you, it's inconsiderate of people.
You can get little impressions on your.
I'm going to go pout.
That fixes everything historically.
Yes, I think so. That's right. So, Michelle, share with us ideas, suggestions on stocking stuffers, fun things to get for shooters, things that, we might not have thought of.
Well, I think the obvious one is any kind of training that you can get somebody is always an excellent. And, gift cards work great, gift certificates. We can never express enough in stores not to buy your significant other the gun that you think is perfect for them. So the best way to get around that is get a couple of catalogs or, with whatever companies you want to. Or if you don't want to do that, just a gift card and go back and let them hold them, let them shoot them, but give them the opportunity to pick out their own firearm, something that fits for them. And if I could give out a recommendation, don't force the time issue. Let them shoot some guns, let them try them. Don't just go to the store and get somebody's recommendation, because until you have it in your hand, if you're not a person that's qualified with shooting or has done a lot of training, that caliber might not be ideal, even though the clerk on the other side of the counter is saying it is.
But we have them in stock. It's the gun for you.
I know, right?
Yeah, she's going to love the 454 Casull.
Yeah. Well, and there is a little bit of that. There's some male ego play that goes into some of these calibers and recommendations, and we just can't express it enough. Let that person, male or female, pick out their own gun, but for sure, shoot them first. Go to a store that has the ability that you can shoot different calibers.
That sounded funny. Let them pick their own gun, but shoot them first. Oh, shoot the gun first. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because otherwise they couldn't pick the gun if she shot
Well,
them.
she's dead on. I had somebody buy me a gun for a present last year, and I've got little sausage cabbage fingers, so I can't hold most guns properly, and it didn't work. So, just because I'm a guy doesn't mean
I'm having fun, but you're exactly right, Michelle. I mean, the gun that I think would be right for somebody more than likely is not, because there are way too many choices out there. And also, there's a tendency to acquiesce to the suggestions or recommendations of the person behind the counter, who may be right on the money or may not, or may be getting a spiff, as they say, to push a particular gun or a line of guns this month or this week. That happens, and people don't realize that sometimes you're being sold something just because they've got a better margin on that one.
Yeah, there's also internal contests. Whoever can sell the most XYZ brand this month.
As long as it's in stock.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing, too, I want to recommend with that is if you're looking for excellent gifts, I can't tell you how many people go to a range and they do not properly carry their firearms and gear in and out of a store. So range bags are critical. A really nice, expensive, if you want, doesn't have to be, range bag that gives you some sturdiness, that you can put enough ammo and your earmuffs and your targets and all that type of stuff in there. We already talked about electronic muffs, but spare magazines is a great idea. Reloaders, if somebody's into that, is a great way to get started too for Christmas time.
You could do a range bag that comes with, and you've already stocked it with electronic muffs and some other stuff.
Cleaning kit.
So it's like one of those, they open the package and they see the range bag, and that's cool. Then they open the range bag and there's more stuff inside. It becomes one of those nesting, Russian doll sets or something.
Right. Well, in quality eyewear is huge too. Something that doesn't distort. That cheap plastic distorts your targets, and
they scratch easy.
Right. So good quality, glasses.
Stuff 500 rounds of 22 ammo down in the range bag, and you're hit forever.
Mm-hmm.
If you can find it. So and there's a lot of cool things out there these days that you might not be thinking of. I'm on the Brown Nose website right now, and just like every time I go to the website, I go, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's neat. I had no idea about that.
Well, and if a person does a lot of shooting, like say, I just kind of hinted on the reloader part of it, but if they do a lot of training, a lot of shooting, it's costly at first, and people always ask, in the long run, is it even worth it? yes, if you do a lot of shooting, it is definitely worth it. So if that's somebody in your life or somebody in your family, even if a conglomeration of people get together and pitch in on a gift, it's expensive at first, but that is a huge payoff in the end.
I got a great Christmas present last year from my family. I got a recoil spring for the gun that I carried every day. And I wasn't thinking, why do I need this? I don't need it yet. But you know what? When it came down to order one, I had one. So
how about magazines?
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, you can never have enough of those, right?
Sports Illustrated. There's
That's
Newsweek.
Right. That's right. Better Guns and Gardens. Actually, there is a magazine called Gun and Garden.
Really?
It is and I'm not kidding you. It is a great magazine.
Really?
It would be one you would display in your home. It's beautiful. It's kind of like a Southern living kind of deal, but they've got a bunch of gun stories in there as well as decorating and gardening. It's so cool. It's Garden and Gun is the name of it. Garden and Gun.
Check that out.
Really?
I'm seriously. I can recommend this thing. You guys would love it.
I'll check it out.
Two things I like.
It's pretty cool, and it's one that the family, and it's also one that if it's laying around, people go, "What is that? That's a cool looking," and they pick it up and go, "Really? Garden and Gun?"
Yeah. I've decided for Christmas I'm going to give some of my gun buddies a range bag, but with rolls of nickels and pennies in there, and old brass, scratched up glasses, and broken muffs, and call it my Bah Humbug out bag.
Your Bah Humbug out bag?
Yeah.
I'm not coming over for Christmas this year.
Stuff I don't need. Here you go, guys. Thinking of you.
There it is. Jeez. Well, let's give some more thought to what we can kind of toss in as ideas for gifts. Because anything from, if you want to go as cheap as you want to, you could go with earplugs. New earplugs. Oh, what I have done for years now for the members of our family is I'm the flashlight guy.
Right.
They know that everybody's going to get a flashlight of some sort, and you can buy now pretty decent little flashlights from anywhere from like $6 up. Kids of all ages love flashlights, just love them. And adults don't know that they need them, but once they get them and they carry them with them, there's little bitty ones, they use them all the time. So I would also throw that thought out.
Well, and I think something extremely easy, very easy year after year to give, and some of them have expiration dates, believe it or not, and this goes for, teenage kids, college kids, but pepper sprays, maces, that type of thing is an excellent gift to give away. It's a great Christmas stuffer. It's $9 to, $25. It depends on what you want, but, there's all kinds of items out there for that type of self-protection, stun guns, all kinds of things. Whistle.
Now, when pepper spray goes out of date, can you still use it as seasoning?
On your tacos, yes.
That's right, on your tacos. That's right.
Yeah, you've heard of pepper spray steak. It's an Asian dish.
That's right.
I just thought of a good idea, Michelle.
What's that?
Alien gear. It's kind of like a gift certificate or like a gift receipt when you buy somebody a present. But if you buy somebody an alien gear holster for their carry gun, and maybe they don't carry that gun anymore, they can always swap the shell out. So that's like a gift that keeps on giving. There's that. So I was thinking like, carry accessories, because a belt would be a really, really good gift for somebody.
Yeah,
gun belts wear out.
Yep, exactly right. I like the idea of good eyewear. And then, of course, if you want to go big, a training class. If you said, okay, sweetie, I bought us his and her classes at Gunsight or someplace. It would be big dollars, but boy, that would be
most trainers, too, will let you prepay for a class, and even if you have no intention of taking it down the road, so that way you can coordinate your schedules together.
Trade off to somebody else, too.
Yep.
Exactly.
Basically, it's like a gift certificate for a class.
Right.
You know what else nobody's thought of yet, or nobody has said yet? What about concealed carry insurance?
Oh.
Get them a concealed carry insurance policy.
Yeah. If somebody was into that. It's almost one of those deals that if they're that far into it, I wonder if people would rather buy that for themselves. I don't know. Hadn't thought of it, though. Interesting thought.
I think another, I'm going to say gadget, you can get them in variations of sizes and quantities for handling firearms, but, different types of gun vaults for people that travel, for somebody that wants something in their home to quickly put a firearm away. It can be used in multitudes of ways. People with RVs and And just with your interstate and intercommerce type of traveling, that book, right. Your 50 Gun Laws or the 50 States is an excellent book. It's inexpensive, $9, $12. I've seen it. Gosh, there's just so many things.
Well, if you had somebody that has an AR-15, you could buy them an aftermarket trigger, for an AR-15. You get all sorts of accessories there. One of the things I bought myself a couple of years ago, somebody had a sale on cheap pistol cases. Just zip up cases you put a handgun into, and I bought a dozen of them. And it's amazing how often you're shoving guns in there, going to the range, just having zip-up pistol cases to throw things into, and then go into a bag so they're not bagging into things. It's like $9 a piece or something. It's just they're cheap.
Well, and, for that situation, too, for safes, for home safes, silicants, dehumidifying rods.
Yes, desiccant stuff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All that stuff, make sure that it's working and proper humidity levels are kept and good oils for taking that stuff out yearly and checking it all out.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be kind of a neat idea, too, to go to a good gun store and pick up, get an anti-rust, get a lubricant, get a solvent, get maybe some cleaning brushes and pads, but get the consumables that all people that have guns need.
Mm-hmm.
That way they don't have to replace it.
Or what about if you made up a handmade certificate to give to somebody that's good for 10 gun cleanings that you'll do for them?
It's like every present I ever gave to my parents growing up. It's an IOU.
Exactly.
That's an IOU. They probably will never cash in, so there you go.
Well, that's a standing gig. My husband always cleans my guns.
Oh, so this is for him. He could offer that to you because he's going to do it anyway.
It's a win.
Will he farm out and do it for other people? That's the real question. So, but, gun cases, soft gun cases for ARs, because, everybody's got AR needs a case or two. So just lots of fun stuff. I tell you what, we'll keep working on the list. We'll come up with more as we get closer to it. And then when we're ready to make this announcement on the new Gun Talk gun, we'll have that. I'm, like I say, working on that this week. Hope to get it locked down so we can get the details worked out.
In the meantime, I'll give my Christmas list to Michelle. She seems to have the best handle on this.
Yeah, no kidding. I think so. Just say, Michelle, here's all the people on my list. Would you just take care of them for me?
Thank you.
I would be your personal shopper.
There you go. I'm liking this. That's right. For a mere small fee per person.
Yeah, is it a flat rate? Is it a percentage?
Yeah.
We'll talk afterwards.
Just charge him 10%. You'll be good.
For the percentage, she's going for the big buck items.
No. You know what the problem is, Tom, and you understand this from being in the business for so long. If you have 25 years of retail experience, you can help somebody a lot. And it's exciting at Christmas time to give them all the little things that somebody wouldn't buy for themselves. But some of these magazines and little accessories can be quite expensive. And so if they have the investment at first in the gun and the ammo, they're not going to come back and buy that accessory right away. It's going to take a while. So it's good to know what equipment they have, but I can't stress enough the gift cards. The gift cards is the way to go, because you can have an idea and it not be the right type of site. It not be...
Plus, on the other end of that,
color.
You get a gift from somebody. You don't want to say, "Oh, gee, thanks, Aunt Margaret. I really like that. That's just great."
Well,
you don't want to be rude,
right? Have something that's readily exchangeable, and don't be afraid to ask those questions.
Yep, I love the gift card idea, and from a personal standpoint, make sure it is a non-expiring gift card, because some of them actually expire, which just frost me.
Right.
You paid money for this thing, bought it, and it just goes away at the end of a period of time.
And you can dictate what you want them to use it for. This for a CCW class or training, but they may not use it for that. But they may have other ideas in mind of stuff that they want too. So don't be upset if it's not used in the manner, but it's going to be used.
And for some people, you could make up a chart and say, okay, now this is what 12 gauge ammo looks like, and this is what 20 gauge ammo looks like.
It'll go with your fuchsia grips.
Do they have that in a picture book type?
Yes, of course. Yes, that's right. Flashcards.
That's the guy that teaches shooting with
I was
Braille.
just thinking that, yeah.
All right, it's time for you guys to go shovel snow.
Thank you for that reminder.
I'm going to go start the truck right now and pray that it runs till we get done.
There you go. If not, you'll be here next week,
That's
same
right.
time. Just won't have left.
Be really early.
Same clothes, smelling great.
He'll be here for the pre-show.
Touche.
Okay. All right, thanks, guys. We'll talk next week.
Hey, thanks, Tom.
Bye.
So, how did you like basking in the glow of the Gun Talk After Show? I just made that up. We hang around and talk a little more after the radio show every week. You can get it on your computer, iPhone, iPad, and we have a new Gun Talk app that makes it real easy for your Android or iPhone. And we're always hanging out at guntalk.com. Next week, Tom, Jim, Michelle, and Michael will be hanging around after the radio show for another Gun Talk After Show. We hope to see you right here then. Bye.